Disney has just dropped its first live-action remake of 2025, a modern reimagining of the beloved tale Snow White. So let's talk about it. Hey, welcome back to the video. It's a brand new movie review, so I'm talking all about the brand new modern reimagining of Snow White that's just dropped in cinemas across the UK. Before I start talking about it, just a friendly reminder, as always, these are just my thoughts, so don't let this dictate whether or not you decide to go and see it, because you might see it and feel totally differently to me, and that is okay. And without any further ado, let's start chatting about this film. And this was actually the first film that I ever checked out in Screen X. Never seen anything in Screen X before, and wow, I've only ever seen things in 3D, 2D obviously, and IMAX, and now Screen X. And I have to admit, Screen X is my favourite by far. You're just so fully immersed, and I was absolutely I felt more engrossed in the story because it was like just surrounding me entirely. Anyway, that's enough on that. The actual film, on the other hand, was really good. Really good. And obviously there's been a lot of chat, a lot of negative press on it, and Disney has scaled down the public press that it's giving it. It wasn't given this spectacular premiere, nothing like that. It's been really, really scaled down because of this controversy that's happened. There's been quite a lot, and I do think that's a shame because this film is actually really good. And I do think some of it is a bit like when they released the live-action Little Mermaid. There was a lot of controversy around that, but then people went to go and see it and was like, actually, I bloody love this film. And I think a lot of people will feel this way about this film, hopefully, but I do think a lot of people aren't really giving this film a try. Opening night, and there was like 12 of us in the screen, which is a shame. It's a shame because actually, I thought it was really, really good. They paid true respect to the original, and obviously the original was such a groundbreaking thing. Not only was it such a revolutionary moment for animated movies, but it was also such a revolutionary thing because this is ultimately what became Disney. This is what set up Disney, and basically was the starting journey for how we know and love Disney today. So without that, we wouldn't be here. And they tell the story in a nice way. They've altered it, in some areas, and I do think they've improved upon the original story, but not taken away from what it actually is. I just feel at parts it was too modernised. It didn't seem like the classic fairy tale that obviously Snow White that we got, all those years ago was. That is a modern classic fairy tale story. This didn't feel like it as much. It just felt very modernised and felt like a princess story that would take place today. And I think that's kind of what let it down a bit. But honestly, the soundtrack for this film is incredible. I thought the acting was very good. There's a lot of people saying the opposites to me. I thought it was very good. I thought there was really good moments of humour throughout the film. There were quite a few emotional moments. It wasn't one that I cried at, but other people I've heard have cried at this film. It has it all, and actually it does it really, really well. And I was completely blown away by this soundtrack, I have to say. I'm going to go back to the soundtrack for a minute now because I loved it. I really, really, really did. It's more a musical retelling of Snow White than obviously the first one was. The first one was nowhere near as musical as this one. And this one has so many good songs. So many good songs. I have to say, I love Waiting on a Wish. Again, a lot of controversy around that song, but I really liked it. I really, really liked it. And the problem is I can understand where people come from when they talk about the fact that, Snow White wouldn't sing this. Yeah, Snow White's also not real. Do you know what I mean? But I do then get why people are saying that. It is more of an Elsa song, if I had to put it towards any Disney princess. It does sound like more of an Elsa song. Having said that though, it's a really good song and it fits the movie incredibly well. So I loved that song. And I also loved Princess Problems. Oh my word, what a gorgeous song. What a really, really well executed song that also fits this movie really, really well. I do feel like this film dragged a little bit. I think they introduced the story very well to begin with, but then it kind of got to about just over halfway through the film and it kind of just started to feel more like a back and forth, and I'm gonna get you. No, you're not. I'm gonna get you. That sort of vibe. And I then sort of start to think, where are we going with this? Where are we going? Because it was one of those things. Oh, right, the end is coming. Oh no, it's not. Oh yeah, no, it's not. And it was a little bit of that. And I do feel like towards the end, it sort of felt like, okay, let's wrap things up now, because I'm starting to lose interest. And I feel like the reason that I didn't lose interest was, like I said, because of the Screen X and just the way I was watching this film. But I feel like if you're watching it in 2D, you could have zoned out a bit easier, if that makes sense. But honestly, I thought this was a really wholesome film. I enjoyed it very, very much, and I just wish people wouldn't listen to the bad press as much as people do, because they listen to it so intently. And actually, if you just push past it and actually just appreciate it for what it is, it's a really good film. And I do think it's one of the better live action remakes that Disney have done. I have a love-hate relationship with the live-action Disney remakes. I just kind of feel like make some original stories, but it is also nice to have these new live-action retellings of these classic films. I just wish they wouldn't. It's starting to feel like they're going to remake every single film that they've ever made, which I kind of feel like they shouldn't do. But I really, really enjoyed this new retelling of Snow White. So there you go. There's everything I've got to say on Snow White. It's in cinemas across the UK right now. And as always, before I wrap up this video, what do I rate it out of 10? And will it be joining my Disney DVD collection? Well, I'm giving this film a 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it much more than I thought I would. I enjoyed it a lot more than... Can you hear that? Plates crackling, people are making their lunch. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, and I actually enjoyed it a lot more than people are giving it credit for. I think it deserves a lot more credit than it is actually being given. So very, very good. And will it be joining my DVD collection? Well, yes, it will be. All my Disney live action stuffs are over there. I'd go and show it to you, but yes, they are joining my collection. And if you're quick, I didn't get them out, but if you're quick to the cinema, you may be lucky enough to get a double-sided poster and activity sheet like I did, free of charge when you go and see it. So there you go. There's my thoughts on Snow White in cinemas across the UK right now. In the description below, as there always is the movie plot, a link to the movie trailer, as well as a link to my movie review playlist. It features every single movie review that I've ever done. Plenty more to come very soon, including the Oscar-winning movie Flow. I've seen it. I'll be talking to you about it in a very, very quick moment. Almost like I'm going to stop recording this and film my movie review on Flow. But, you know, stay tuned for that. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in another video, and hopefully another movie review very soon.